This ain't for everybody, only my special needs parents. So, a few nights ago, I had a dream, and in this dream, my two nephews were in the room with me. Now, my two nephews are very tall. One of them is probably like 6'4", the other one is like 6'7". And so we were in the room together, and my son came into the room. Now, my son is tall, but he's not as tall as them. He's like 6'2", right? But when he came in the room, he was taller than both of them. He came in and he kind of like had to stoop down to even get into the room, to come into the doorway. And I remember even in the dream thinking, why is he so tall? And when I woke up, I said, Lord, what was that about? And the Holy Spirit told me that even though your son having autism in this world, the world sees him as being small. They see him as being insignificant. They see him as being incapable. In the kingdom of heaven, he is a giant. And I said, oh, and the Holy Spirit just continued to tell me things about my son, things that he would do, things that God had spoken over him based on what God knows about him. And so he wanted me to come on here today and tell you that just because your child has a disability, it does not mean that God has not given them some ability to be able to carry out in this world. God has a purpose and a plan for our kids. And ultimately, he looks on them and he sees them as being giants in the kingdom of heaven. Come on now, somebody. And so 1 Samuel 16, we know this story well. This is where Samuel went to anoint the next king based off of God's command. And when he got there, he went to Jesse. Jesse brought out his seven of his sons, and the Lord rejected each and every one of them. They were perfect as it relates to the way the world sees them. But then Samuel says, do you have any more sons? Because God is not with any of these. And then Jesse said, oh, there's the one back there tending the sheep, the eighth one. And so he said, bring him out. And when David came out, that's when the oil flowed. That's when God says, now this is the one. This is the next king. So I just want to encourage you today that even though the world may see our kids as being small and incapable, they are giants in the kingdom of heaven. 1 Samuel 16, the B section of verse 7 says, for the Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. Y'all, I felt that. I hope you did too. Love y'all.